These point to some potentially uncomfortable truths that you might resonate with, but my purpose here is to help you learn to work with them instead of spiraling in shame around the less than ideal tendencies if these don't super resonate with you based on your sun sign or otherwise. As an abundance astrologer, when I look at somebody's chart to illuminate their relationship with money, the sun sign is not what I focus on. There are certain areas of the chart that are much more suited to understand your relationship with money. Let's dive in. First up, Aries. Your money strategy is basically make it, spend it, regret nothing. You manifest abundance by launching things with zero budget and buying new software subscriptions during Mercury retrograde. You don't track expenses because you believe in trusting the flow, and that flow is lava. Also, your accountant quit last week. Again. This one comes from the Aries tendency to be impulsive, to dive without much thought wherever they feel called or inspired to, whenever and however often they feel the impulse to, and an avoidance of structure, basically, because they want to be able to just go when they feel like it. And they don't want anything that is putting them in a box, limiting them, or holding them back. But here's the thing about Aries is what you really want is to be able to dive into what excites you, the creative wave that opens up for you and invites you to jump on it, right? You don't want to get bogged down with the things that are included in structure. So you avoid it to your detriment. But when you actually have systems, structures, SOPs in place, you get to spend less of your attention, presence, and mental energy on those things so that you can free yourself to focus on what you really want to. So for you, systems and structures are so valuable when it comes to your money game so that you know that stuff is handled and flowing. Next up, Taurus. You act broke while sitting on a pile of untouched savings like a dragon who's too tired to invest. You love money almost as much as you love slow mornings and luxury candles. Your strategy is slow and steady, which means you refuse to pay for anything unless it's aesthetic, ethical, and hand-delivered by forest nymphs. Your record keeping is immaculate, but also scented. This comes from the part of Taurus that is often stubborn, resistance to change. Financial security is such medicine for Taurus people. So if there's resistance to learning the new thing and implementing the change that's going to get you to that more solid and secure foundation around your money, know that it is absolutely worth embracing the equal but opposite side of Scorpio of transformation to get to that point. Because what that's going to make possible for you is truly feeling settled and relaxed in your nervous system. Next up, Gemini. Your money is wherever your attention span last was. One week, you're on a budgeting app. The next, you're trading crypto and selling vintage sunglasses on Depop. You have 5 bank accounts, 0 budget, and 17 passive income dreams you haven't monetized yet because you were too busy making memes about it. You could be rich, but you'd get bored halfway through invoicing. This comes from Gemini's tendency to be all over the place, to jump from one thing to the next really quickly. To you, I say that structures don't have to be rigid. Having systems in place that work for you and were designed for how you are means that they leave a lot of room for moving parts, to change your mind, to replace variables and pieces and parts, but that there's this underlying foundational structure like scaffolding so that you can grow and weave and meander to your heart's content. want. You are a great example of why half of my signature program, Cosmic Currency, is looking at your unique cosmic currency codes to develop structures and systems around your money flow that were designed for you. Because most forms of structure are not going to work for a Gemini. Next up, Cancer. You treat money like a relationship with a moody ex. You want it to love you, but you also don't want to talk about it directly. You undercharge so no one's feelings get hurt, then feel resentful when you're living on emotional granola. Your spreadsheets are covered in tears, and your money mantra is something like, I deserve prosperity, but only if everyone else has it first. This comes from Cancer's tendency to be led by their emotions, to underprice their offers because of people pleasing. To Cancers, I say that when you actually price your offers higher at an amount that is a bit more of a stretch for people, they are actually going to get more out of what you're offering, because the alternative is that it was either super lowballed or free, so they could kind of take or leave their investment in it. The more that they put into it, the more that they're like, oh, I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to show up for this because I paid a lot for it. And it makes a world of difference in terms of how much they're actually able to get out of it. Next up, we have Leo. You'll drop $6,000 on a mastermind because the landing page had gold accents. Your money strategy is visibility equals value. So as long as you look rich online, you believe abundance is on its way. Spoiler, it's not. You're flashy, proud, and allergic to being audited. Receipts, you mean applause. You spend like a Kardashian and budget like a raccoon with a Target gift card. This comes from Leo's tendency to be hungry for visibility, to be much more invested in how they're being perceived, making all of that more important than the inner game, the foundations that you need to build. But here's the thing. If you actually focus on creating the foundation that your business needs to be sustainable and focusing on building the body of work that you're going to be known for, you're actually going to create a way bigger following and ultimately have way more eyes on what you're putting out there. So to you, I suggest to consider the long game. Next up, Virgo. You have a color-coded profit and loss tracker and a backup file just in case. You know your monthly recurring revenue down to the cent and judge everyone who doesn't. You save aggressively, invest responsibly, and occasionally buy an oracle deck just to feel something. You are the financial spreadsheet everyone else is too emotionally unstable to open. This comes from Virgo's tendency to be a perfectionist, to get lost in the details, to overplan. Virgo embraces structures and systems to a fault. It is absolutely your role to be aware of your income and expenses and what's going on with your money. But I do not suggest looking at it every single day. I suggest having some kind of a rhythmic pulse currency check-in, which is the culmination of cosmic currency. It's really valuable, efficient, and effective to do this on more of a weekly or a monthly basis, not to be obsessively checking it all the time. So this is my reminder to you, dear Virgos, that you would probably do good to loosen your grip a little bit. Next up, Libra. Money, ugh, gross. You'd rather flirt with abundance than talk with a bookkeeper. You impulse buy aesthetics, hello branded rituals kit, and then feel deeply betrayed when your rent is due. You believe in balance, which is why you've spent 3 months trying to decide between QuickBooks and just journaling about money blocks. Your entire budget is mood board based. This comes from Libra's tendency to be a little bit indecisive, a little bit of a people pleaser. Often, a lot of what is tied up in that decision for you or that indecision is trying to equate value to your sense of worth, trying to decide on a dollar price point relative to something that has nothing to do with being quantifiable. It's a trap to try and position your sense of self-worth anywhere near what you're charging people. A smart money flow actually looks at what you need to make to meet the expenses that you're responsible for now and the ones that you're calling in to actualize your next level lifestyle. This is the balancing act that you want to be tuning into, not does your worth equate to what you're charging, but rather the scale of does your revenue meet your expenses? Let it be way simpler than you've got going on in your head. Next up, Scorpio. You treat your finances like state secrets. Nobody knows how much you make, but they feel that you're powerful. Your money is in a vault, probably in a crypto wallet with 4FA. Is that even a thing? You invest in mysterious things like transformational wealth frequencies. Your record keeping is impeccable and encrypted, but no one will ever see it, including your accountant. Scorpio has a tendency to be a little bit obsessive, potentially a little bit of a control freak, and ultimately has a deep fear of loss that motivates it. And to you, I point out that when it comes to a strategy with your money that's actually going to make long-term wealth possible, where your money works for you, you need to move through the trust issues or whatever else comes up for you that feels edgy to be able to embrace working with other people, other institutions, other opportunities that you don't have full control over, because those are the kinds of things that are going to bring you an exponential ROI. Next up is Sagittarius. You think budgeting is a capitalist conspiracy. You spend freely in the name of expansion and then suddenly remember taxes are a thing. You'll drop thousands on courses, flights, and kombucha retreats, and then say things like, I don't believe in limits. You haven't seen your financial dashboard since 2022. You have a PayPal account somewhere, maybe. This comes from Sagittarius's tendency to value and prioritize freedom above all else. And to you, I point out that if you really want to have the additional income, the marginal flow to be able to jump on a plane whenever you feel like, and to be able to spend on the bigger, more expensive things that you dream of, you got to get your money stuff in order. When you do take the time to get the necessary systems in place, they actually support you to be able to do those things that you really would rather be doing. And not only that, but when your money game is strong, you often have more time available to go do those things as well. Next up, Capricorn, you are a financial system. Your spreadsheets have spreadsheets. You wrote a business plan for your childhood. Money is your love language and also your coping mechanism. You have a quarterly review with your inner child and a retirement fund for your LLC. People ask you for money advice. You pretend to be humble about it, but you are the IRS now. This comes from Capricorn's often workaholic, super hustle tendency that borderlines on addiction, identifying as their business, and having a pretty deeply ingrained fear of failure. To you, I point out that what is the point of doing all of that if you are not generating the profits and extra flow to be able to spend on things that bring you more quality of life? Remember, what truly vitalizes systems of generating abundance is being connected to the feelings around the visions that you have for the lifestyle that you want. So don't get caught up in the means and forget what the end or the point is of why you are creating this business machine. Next up, Aquarius, you manage your money like a post-capitalist experiment. You believe in radical generosity, but also have a stock portfolio you built with ChatGPT prompts and divine timing. You use Airtable, Notion, and a Google Doc you share with the moon. You hate traditional finance, but will sell a $222 workshop called Quantum Budgeting for Visionaries. You're rich in ideas, broke in execution. The thing about Aquarius people is when it comes to money, they want to play the game because they love the experiment, but they have such an allergy to the system, the government, and even thinking about participating in it in a traditional way that their avoidance of the thing often keeps them from making the money that they need. So, my reminder to you is that you're not a sellout to play the game. And in fact, you would do well to learn the rules of the game so that you can loophole and break them in your own way. Lastly, Pisces. You and money are in a karmic relationship. You avoid looking at your accounts because numbers stress your aura. You prefer to feel into financial decisions and then wonder why you overdrew your account after buying a crystal grid and 4 abundance workshops. Your receipts are just vibes. Your CPA is a Sagittarius or an Aquarius, like I was, who also believes in magic. So it works out. To my Pisces people, like what I said with Gemini, who seem so far from a genuine alignment with structure, Pisces too needs it so much. It's a missing piece for you that once implemented, frees and liberates you to be able to flow as you feel. When you embrace the systems and structures around money that I teach, you also lean into this crucial half of the equation that is absolutely your jam, which is constantly visualizing to aim your next mark of your next level of what you're bringing in. That brings us to the end of the zodiac. I hope that something in here made you giggle, struck a chord, and that there's some takeaways for you around how to really leverage the signs that we're working with. And if you'd like support around this, just reach out and let's see what's possible.